Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGenEd. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts. And so this is Ticker Request Live for Sunday, June 1st. Happy new month. Starting at 10 p.m., so an hour later than what is typical. But I haven't really done it at 9 in a while. And yeah, it's probably going to be limiting this to an hour long because I'm going to do pre-market prep in the morning at 8:15. And yeah, happy to be taking requests. Also happy to just kind of poke around at some charts that I'm interested in. I do have the UVIX up there, but as you can see, the TRL list is empty there, waiting for people to populate it. And with that being said, and with this being just probably an hour-long stream, I got to get to work on this. So I'm going to I'll say a number of cheers, I'm sure. But yeah, cheers to you guys. Hope you had a great weekend. Hopefully the week ahead's not looking too bad. And yeah, I hope you're excited about the market opening up. I am for sure. I'm working afternoons into the evenings this week. So kind of sucks, but whatever. But yeah, cheers to you guys. All right. So yeah, I decided to have the UVIX open in case there were some requests to start out. Just because I was curious to see where it's at in the overnight, and I will be covering this first thing in the morning. But yeah, it looks like it's up about 2.5% in the overnight trading. If we flip over to the 10-minute time frame, it's really just hanging out around that $30 level there. So yeah, it will be interesting. Maybe we get a sell-off once the market opens, and this pulls back, markets rally, or maybe this does continue up. We have seen it, move up, bump into that green line as resistance, and then pull back. So that could be happening again. Yeah, just kind of in the overnight here, went up to that level almost, pulled back. Pre-market went up to that level, pulled back. So yeah, maybe I'll just put that on the daily, and yeah, we'll see. Hopefully people join. If not, no big deal. But yeah, I'm going to try to limit this just to an hour because I want to get some sleep, relax a little bit. I had to work. I didn't have to work. I elected to work a little bit this morning because it's double time on Sundays. And then I was just kind of like not feeling like doing anything in the afternoon today. But I did do a little bit of work at home. And I, organized my trading plan and stuff for the week. And yeah, since I don't see any requests, what I might do is just pull up some that, I'm kind of interested in. One of those being Unity Software. Let's see. I guess I'm kind of curious with AMC and GameStop, although I feel like we might be seeing a pullback with them. What other ones are interesting to me? I don't know yet. Well, I guess really those two. Tesla, yeah, maybe want to see where Tesla could be pulling back to. And I guess Webull, I do have a position in that, and Peloton. So maybe look at some of those other ones. I do have some positions in some other ones, but I'll just start with that. And really, let's see. Unity Software. This one, I am excited about this. The Bronx Viking posted on X that this looks like it could just be a massive amount of accumulation, and that I believe this was a spring. Even though this was lower, this is low relative to this. So spring, and that this could be, going up a lot higher. So I did sell some calls on Friday. As it moved up, I took some profits, but I'm still holding them, and I do plan on buying back if there is a pullback. So yeah, and one of the things that looked really good with Unity Software is the options data. So let's see. This is a contract I was holding. This is the $42 call that expires, in less than 20 days on the 20th. Really, it seems like. I don't know if it's the first. Why is it 18 days to expiration on the 20th? But yeah, I sold my position. Wow, this makes me feel kind of stupid looking at this. I sold the position that I had at 13, which my average was a little above 10 cents. And so I took 20% profit. But if my average was 10 cents, the high was 45 on Friday. The average was 24. So yeah, I mean, I could have made a lot more money with that. I think actually I trimmed some at a loss prior to up to the 20%. Overall, my net cumulative Unity trades, shares and options have been positive. It's one of, if not my most successful tickers. But yeah, I mean, I could have made a lot more, but that's how it goes. I'm just glad that this is not expiring worthless because it's a $42 strike and the current price is around 26. So it's pretty risky. It needs to, nearly double to get up to a strike. So I imagine these contracts will be going to zero. So, I can't complain too much. I'm sure I'll be walking away from that with, just being happy. And so this other one that I trimmed on Friday was the $65 call that expires in January. So over 200 days between now and expiration. So feeling okay about that. But yeah, just like seeing a big move up. Yellow is the yellow is the premium price we can see on the day over here. The stock price went up, yellow there pulled back, and we did see an increase of net call premium of 5.62 million across all contracts. But yeah, I sold this one around 103, which is, right around here. This is where the cursor is. That's right around $1. Pulled back some, and now I believe it's still around $1. But yeah, I mean, I have an order basically by 10-cent increments to get one more contract from 90 cents down to, I believe, 30 cents. But I might actually remove the 90-cent order. Maybe I'll buy two at 80. Maybe that's a better way to do it. But yeah, I think it could pull back, cool off a little bit. But I think generally looks really good, so I'm excited about that. And yeah, let's look at AMC. Yeah, that's up 0.28% in the overnight. But yeah, I mean, I kind of had this drawn out, got this bigger picture, inverse head and shoulders highlighted in purple there. But then thinking maybe looking at this on the shorter time frame, maybe we could take a little bit of a detour to form this smaller scale inverse head and shoulders pattern. And yeah, I mean, so I think that's a possibility. Was up over 4% on Friday, bouncing from the low of 332 right over here, and then closing at 356. So yeah, it will be very interesting. The max pain for this week is 3. So if we can get a bounce, maybe we could see a gamma squeeze or a gamma ramp. But I think that it could be pulling back down to around $3, and maybe it forms this right shoulder a little bit sooner than what I had drawn here. So maybe I could draw this, kind of like that. So just move that over, and then that would be forming that right shoulder. And then yeah, I mean, I guess I'll look over at GameStop. Again, I think that this could be a pullback, just kind of like what I doodled on AMC. This is down in the overnight trading by about 0.5%. So yeah, not looking so great relative to AMC, which is up, Unity Software, which is up more notably. And then we could also look at Webull. This one's coming down here, hit a new low of 1154. Not an all-time low, but for this downtrend. And yeah, I think my average is around 1254. So yeah, I'm just gonna chill with it. I do see 1110 marked by the green line. Maybe that's a level of significance. If I take a step back, we can see where that level comes into play. And so really it's just like the consolidation lows over here, right around 11 bucks. We hit some lows, $11 here, $11. This low was 11.10, so I just have that. So all of these candles and wicks, or all of these wicks, the base of this candle overlaps with that, including the candle or the wicks over here. So, and this one, yeah. So I mean, there's just a lot of tests of that level, a number of days. So I could see that acting as some support around 11.10. I don't really want to add too aggressively to my position, though, just because I feel like it's pretty speculative, and the options data, in all honesty, for bull just kind of sucks. So if we look at, this is the contract, I guess, I've been eyeing, and maybe this is one I want to look at if it does go down to 11.10, the stock price. But this is the $30 call that expires in January. Again, that's over 200 days between now and expiration. But if we look at the data over here, we can see that the net call premium in green came down by about almost $800,000, whereas net put premium was down by only about $1,500. And if we look at the past 30 days, I mean, it's just kind of been up and down. There's no like real clear signal that, wow, there's like millions of dollars going long, because we've seen millions of dollars in puts in red here, $1 million, multiple millions of dollars in green here, as well as over here. This is about $1.5 million. Excuse me. So yeah. Nobody's here. Everybody's enjoying their Sundays. So what I might do is just continue on with the list here. If nobody's here, then I'll just end the stream and do pre-market prep. But yeah, I guess Peloton is one I'm interested in. I have a couple shares, 3 shares, I believe, at 660. So very small, not too crazy of position or anything. I did get a call. I could have sold it up here. But I've been holding it, and I feel like maybe I'll regret holding. But I mean, actually, maybe I want to do a retracement on this to see, maybe it's going to find support before, 660, maybe right around 660. Excuse me. 672 would be the next level. That is the 618, corresponding with the tops over here. Although over here, the 50%, which we did wick down to on Friday, corresponds with, a good amount of consolidation over here. So I wouldn't be too surprised. Maybe it does come down to 662, but then maybe it finds a bottom there. So maybe it does, something like that. I could see it. And we can also see that we do have some higher lows being formed. So as long as we stay above, let's see, the low from May 20th was 606. So want to be staying above that. I suspect we will. But yeah, and then we have the tops over here, higher highs. And what's this? This is the full fib retracement. Maybe I want to add the 382 to that. And so that's 659. So yeah, maybe I'll just leave the 382 up, and that's it. And the lows 463, 780. So that's good. Locked into place. I'm gonna do light blue for that one. And then this one, I will just include the 2 levels I have there. I believe that was 606, but I will just do the 50% where we tested on Friday, and then the 618, so just below it. And just going to make sure those levels are correct. Oh yeah, I already checked that. I just need to check it here, 606, yep. So going to lock that into place. And maybe actually what I want to do is make this one white. and make this one light blue. So it stands out against that doodle. And yeah, we'll have to see. The contract that I have, the call, is, as you might guess, expires in January. This is the $10 call. And that is the one that expires January 16th, over 200 days from now. My average, which is just one contract, is 75 cents. The low on Friday was 90 cents. But, the high over the past week, or I guess, let's see, a couple Fridays ago, was 134. So I had to have had it then because we haven't seen a low of 75 after that. And so I would have picked up that contract probably on May 21st when the low was 68 cents. So I picked up one contract at 75 cents. 2 days could have, made whatever percentage profit that is, nearly 100%, which would be so 75. That would be like 150. Yeah, 150 would be 100%. And actually, I think that rings a bell. I think I did place a limit sell at 150. But if it does pull back, it's one contract, and really, not looking at the chart over here. I actually haven't done too much with the chart here in Webull. But if I do pull up the chart in, let's see, in TradingView, let's see. Wait, no, not Bull. I want to look up Peloton. And so this one, it looks like, hey, there's an inverse head and shoulders pattern. We did break out and retest. So this actually looks really good. So yeah, I want to hold on to the call because I can see, really just like from the base of the head here to the approximate neckline, that would be putting a price target around getting close to $10. That's my strike. We do have this orange line up here that I drew at 10.16, which was the closing price. Actually, the closing price was 10.15. So maybe I want to adjust that by a penny. 10.15. Just got to be consistent there. Yeah, right around $10. And that does seem like, it's getting near, or that would be going beyond the neckline here for this larger, bigger picture inverse head and shoulders pattern, which this, let's see, I'm not the best at, maybe I'll play around with this, because if I do like this, I can't, maybe this is what I need to do. Go like this, and then maybe, no, I can't move that. I'd really like to, though. Move this to like that. Yeah, let's see. So measure, shift click on the chart. Okay, so maybe shift click on the chart. Oh, so I can just, that's a shortcut for it. But yeah, it'd be nice if I could just hold that measurement. Maybe there's some other, nope. But yeah, I could do something like this, Fibonacci extension. Just don't want the volume in the way. But I could do, yeah, from the approximate lows over here to the highs here, down to those lows. 100% move, so that's just the distance from the low here to the high here. It's around $12, $13. And, let's see if I do this on the log scale, just out of curiosity. That puts it at 1850. This does not look like it's clean. I believe it, shades in the background when it's, a valid inverse or head and shoulders pattern, whether it's inverse or not. But yeah, it doesn't look so great on the log scale. So I'm just going to switch this back. And yeah, so I feel like that contract that I'm holding, I can just chill with it. I think that between now and December, I think Peloton could be getting up to around $10. So hold on to it, but if it gets up to 2x, then, take profits. Tesla looks like it's down 1.5% on Friday. This is one that, in all honesty, the past couple of days I did add to my position a little bit, which I know is kind of stupid because it's like up at the top here. But I have a pretty small position. I add fraction of shares, so it's not really that bad. I'd like to accumulate more and, basically just buying tenths of a share. And I did at sub 360, sub 350, and then maybe a week ago, sub 340. And if it does come down to around 300, definitely be getting more there. Would be excited about that. Yeah, I really like Tesla a lot. And yeah, I'll just pull up some other stuff on my phone. And we can maybe see some other charts that I'm interested in. Let's see. I don't want to be doing like ones that I've covered too recently, because then it's just like I get in the habit of covering the same thing over and over again. Yeah, so since I have gone over, these that I'm interested in, maybe you want to talk about some of the cryptos that I hold. This chart was on Ondo, but I guess, maybe before I go over Ondo, I'm going to look at RLC. This is one that I hold, that I've been a bag holder since 2021 on it. Had a pretty small position, still have a pretty small position, not super huge. But yeah, I've just been trying to, think about, do I want to be adding, in these pullbacks? I had kind of drawn these trend lines and breaking below, but still higher lows than over here. And with that, these higher lows we're seeing, it's about the same for the bottom. So if there's anything, it's weak bullish divergence maybe, but maybe that's what I want it to be. We do see lower highs here corresponding with lower highs in the RSI, so there's no bearish divergence, so that's good. But the thing that concerns me about this is that big red volume candle. So, these down moves, there's a lot of money pushing that. And so that's, what's the volume? 568.7 thousand. And the low was around 1, so that's around $500,000. But yeah, you got this big move up, big wick up. The volume couldn't hold it. Maybe I want to switch over to, I'll do the hour time frame. See when it's like dumping over here. Okay, so this actually makes me feel a little bit more confident, because we see that this volume was corresponding with the upside move, but then when this started to break down, volume diminished, although we do see the spike here, but it's a lower spike in volume. So this makes me feel a little bit better. I'm contemplating adding to my RLC position just to get my average down. I kind of want to GTFO it though. Yeah, it's kind of misleading. We see this big surge in volume, but a lot of that was for the move up here, but then it looks like it was all sold and then it pulled back. And volume's been increasing a little bit, so I don't know. I think I'm probably just going to chill with this, not add too much, because really, what kind of stands out to me, or I thought something's standing out to me about the volume. So, I mean, it's like higher volume over here, volume's lower, lower. But if we look in the more shorter term, you know, we do see volume elevated on the moves up here. And then over here, volume's lower, but we still have these big spikes. And this looks like it was corresponding with a little bit of a sell-off. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like this is very risky. It's like ranked 400 something in market cap. Let's see. 408. 423, so yeah, that's RLC, pretty speculative one. I kind of want to just throw up Ondo here. This is one that I think I might actually add to this week. Ondo Finance, because, you know, if I look at this relative to what we're seeing over there, we see higher lows, and with that we see it's about flat with the RSI, so it's like weak bullish divergence. But yeah, this is around 84. I don't know, but one of the reasons why I kind of want to be cautious with adding to these alts is that, you know, it's possible that Bitcoin rolls over. And if Bitcoin rolls over, maybe it brings everything else with it. But yeah, and then just like looking at this, I don't want to, on the bigger time frame, we do have this trend line. Ooh, I think I actually drew this after Saturday's video. I noticed, maybe actually, you know, since I'm just here by myself, I might as well adjust this to the levels over here. So, you know, it's like, you know, crypto never closes, so this close is the same as the open here. But I might just move this here to that close. And so we got kind of an overlap between those candles, even though it's, you know, a little bit arbitrary because it's continuous. But the close was 44363. 44363. So I'm just going to adjust that 44363 there. And what's the other pivot point? Oh, it's a trend line, not a ray. So what I might want to do is actually draw that as a ray. Or 44363. I think that's what I was saying. 44363. Okay, and then let's see. Other pivot point. That close was at 59638. 59638. 59638. Lock that into place. I'm going to make it white. It's just like a little bit more neutral of a color. And so from that, you know, we got the origination of that level, and then it intersects with the volume over here. So that's nice. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Wick down there to that level, pierced it, tested it over here. And then this is the pivot point that I drew, the close from November 4th. And then continuing forward, we did test it recently here. And so maybe we could go a little bit lower. So coming down to like 75 cents, maybe that could happen. Hey, Saul, what's up? BBAI and INM, happy to throw them up here. Let's see, BBAI and INM. Oops, I don't want to combine them. So yeah, BBAI, I wish I was still in it, but I just, felt like I was spread too thin. I sold probably right around this purple line, effectively at break even. I had made some money on some calls, and I just didn't want to be spreading myself too thin. But yeah, up 7.5% on Friday. It looks like there's no overnight trading for it. But it's just like deals with Palantir. And if we look at the options data, it looks pretty good. So Big Bear AI. So this is a contract that I was holding. It's kind of like the style that I have, $10, so being notably out of the money, but having a longer expiration. So it kind of balances, keeping like having the longer expiration, price goes up in premium for those contracts. But if I have a more out of the money strike, then that makes it cheaper. So I kind of balance it with that. And so do I think it's going to go up to 10 by January? No idea. But this was just kind of a cheaper contract. And I think there's a level from the past. The high's up here around $10. So, it seems feasible that price could get back up to 10. And, but yeah, I mean, what I wanted to point out is this is the data for the past 30 days. All those green wiggles to the upside. This is on, let's see, maybe I'll just cut this down to past 14 days. So this was on the 13th. Looks like the net call premium was up by about 1.5 million. Then over here on the 21st, again, about a little over 1.5 million. Over here, over 2 million net call premium. And generally, the green, the net call premium has just been positive. So that suggests that there's been a lot of buying of calls, whereas the red line net put premium has been kind of flat, a little bit up over here. But generally, it just looks like there's a good amount of money going into it. And so this is just for Friday. We can see over $1 million net call premium going into it with that green line going up. We did see this little spike in net put premium, which ended around just shy of 300,000 up. So both of them positive, but generally it looks like more bullish. And we can actually maybe look at the Max Pain for BBAI. Current price is $416, I believe. But for this week, actually this was from last Friday. It was $4. Closed above Max Pain, so that's good, but not multiple strikes or a strike above Max Pain. If Max Pain was 4, the next strike up, we could look at the options table here. So, 4, they go in 50-cent increments. The next one's 4.50. And so, yeah, it didn't close above that next Max Pain, which would have, been good, suggesting that, gamma ramp, something like that going on. But if we look at the Max Pain for this upcoming week, June 6th is the expiration. The Max Pain's 3.50, same with the following week. And so with price around 4, that does make me think that this could be pulling back, maybe to 4.50. And so I might actually put an alert on this for 3.50. Right around this white line here. It's 349.9, but that's probably not too significant of a level. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's a nice dip buy, especially if the options data is continuing to look good. I'm just going to have another sip. And so cheers to you, Saul, in case I didn't say it before. Yeah, it's kind of a quiet stream, which is, in all honesty, Ticket Request Live's fun, but it's been kind of a relaxing day, so that's nice. I'll be doing pre-market prep in the morning, so yeah, don't need to get too crazy. Okay, so INM, I don't know if I talked about this recently. It's a $3 million market cap, so it's not a very big one. $3 million, 3.01 million. And I guess I say that because there's this I imagine this was a reverse split over here. I can just hover that reverse split 1 for 20, if we go back 2 years, we want to see that the stock price is less than $1,000. And so let's just switch this over to the monthly. And we can go back to, let's do May of 2023 because it usually goes with the closes. So May of 2023, the stock price was, wow, $21. So yeah, not too bad. I was expecting it to be much higher than that, so that's not too bad. But yeah, just very small market cap. And on Friday went up 1.6%, 1.63%, closing at 249 in the after hours. So no overnight trading apparently. But in the after hours, pullback of 6 cents, so to 243, down about 2.41%. And yeah, let's see. Maybe I do a retracement like this from the low here, 172, up to the high of exactly $4. And maybe I'll add the 786. So yeah, it did pull back to the 786. Does seem like it's not super strong over here. So maybe it could be testing like 220, 221 again. And actually, maybe I'll leave the 50% up there. Yeah, thinking about this massive volume here, pump up, and then this sell off. Yeah, so it's like if you get a big candle like that, that's pretty abnormal. That's like 3 million versus 325,000 shares traded. So that's, quite a lot, an order of magnitude larger. And yeah, I mean, like, when's the last time we saw that? This was, pump up and then pull back. That was 26 million shares traded. And I guess something that we might want to do is just do like a trend line that might suggest, just going to do it pretty casually. So just like from the close over here, intersecting, with the open over here. And maybe I want to connect that with the close here so it's not no closes below it. But I guess it's, yeah, I'll just leave it there. And so it does look like where we're at could be acting as support. And I might actually just remove the 50 and 618. It's got this level. Maybe down there around 221, 786. Maybe that could be acting as support. We could also potentially, just this short move up here from 208 up to 4. Make sure that's right, 208 up to 4. And yeah, I mean, it's right around the 786, and potentially there's some confluence with that trend line I just drew, the higher lows trend line, based on the open from April 7th and then the open from May 12th. So yeah, I mean, that could be something notable right there. Maybe I'll make that line green. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that looks too bad. Yeah. Hey, Loudwork, what's up? Looking at BBAI this week too, and also C3AI, which is C3AI is ticker symbol AI. Is that correct? TT screen is black. I don't know what a TT screen is. Anything, I can't see anything. Screen is black. It's showing up fine for me over here. Maybe it's just a stream connection. Hopefully it's come back. But if it is just black, maybe I'll just drop frames. Let's see. I can spy on myself. Oh, BBAI. Oh no, AI. AI had good earnings. That's what you're talking about. So I'm just gonna pull up the channel and see. Is this going? I'm just gonna mute my computer. I don't think that you'll get sound from Chrome. So yeah, just getting a little ad here. Yep, so that is okay. So everything seems to be good with the stream. Nope. But yeah, I'd say those higher lows. And then let's see. So AI was another one. C3 AI, good earnings. Yeah, and I feel like it's just the AI. It's the AI. The day for AI, sort of. It's their time to shine. But yeah, it did pull back on Friday 4.3%. The overnight is pulling back about 0.5% down to 26.44. But yeah, on earnings, it looked like it gapped up over 20% into Thursday. And yeah, I mean, big candle here in the volume, gap up, and then not much volume, and it only pulled back to the open. So I think that's kind of a good look. And maybe just for fun, this probably doesn't mean anything. But I'm just thinking about, trend line, this was resistance here. And now maybe it's acting as support. So maybe there's something there with that. And maybe I could do another trend line, but from like over here. So maybe it does pull back a little bit more. And also, interesting, maybe this is something. Yeah, so I don't think it's really anything. But yeah, so I think that this could pull back. Maybe let's see what the 50% retracement is. That might even be the 618. Yeah, just from the low here up to there. 618, my second guess was right. I said 50%. No, but I meant, I followed up with 618 because I thought that would not be enough. So, let's just make that light blue. And so maybe this could be pulling back to 25. So maybe not a full gap fill, which would be coming down to the close on the 28th, which I guess was Wednesday, 2302. So right there, there's a little bit of a gap. Oops, don't want. The text thing is new, I think with an update or something. Yeah, so there's a gap down there at 23, but I think it could potentially find some support around 25, maybe doing something like this. People getting excited that the gap might get filled, but then it goes like this, and then maybe comes back, finds support, and then goes higher. Let's see how that arrow looks. That's not too bad of an arrow. I've drawn worse. Yeah, so doesn't look too bad, but a pullback to 25 I think would be all right. I think that'd be a healthy pullback. And then let's see. Also got Pfizer and CPNG. Yeah, it's been kind of a quiet stream, which is kind of nice. I'm tired. I think, yeah, I don't know. Doing like either pre-market preps or overnight market preps, whichever works with my work schedule. This week it's going to be pre-market preps. But yeah, I tend to do like a few requests at the end of those and just going over like the same kind of more fundamental stuff or stocks that stand out to me. So that's fairly manageable. But yeah, with the weekend. So let's see, Pfizer. And actually, I might pull up Moderna, mRNA, because that's one that I've been looking at. It has some interesting options activity, but it's just like, I don't want to, it's a little speculative, or it's, too much spread in my portfolio. So, yeah, and Coupang, I had a pretty nice call on that before, which it's possible I traded, but maybe I didn't. I'm not really sure. But I had a pretty nice call on it in the past, I believe. But yeah, let's look over at, so we went over C3AI, so let's do Pfizer, ticker symbol PFH. What levels do I have up here? A bunch of crap, so I'm just going to delete it. And so we can see, I mean, generally, downside move consolidation. It's kind of steep, so maybe it's not so bad, but this could be, like a bear flag. Let's see, just trying to look at how that volume has been. This could be, let's see. Well, I mean, maybe there's some things about this that don't look so good. One is that, maybe this is a head and shoulders pattern with a break and retest of that neckline. So then I would think the next move is to, I wanted to continue that. I accidentally clicked. But the next move would be something like that, I would think. If that is a head and shoulders pattern, a bounce up, retest, and yeah, maybe it gets rejected from there. Let's see what the options data looks like. So let's pull this up, but then go to, I'm not the best at like knowing the best way to search stuff. So I could do option screener. Or maybe I'll do open interest explorer, just kind of curious about this. So I'm going to do the ticker that is PFE. Search that. And it doesn't really matter which one I look at because I just want to look at the net premium over here, which I'll expand. And we can see from Friday, it looks like it was more bearish than bullish. We do see net call premium coming down more than net put premium in red, where the net call premium is green. So that does suggest a little bit more bearish, but it's not really like a super clear signal. So just looking back over the past 30 days, yeah, it's kind of up and down, not really too clear. So, yeah, I mean, I think that this could play out, get rejected, or maybe it reclaims. And like, let's see, trying to get better at like volume analysis. And so this, more volume here, but then as it goes up, the volume is a little bit higher. Then this pullback, volume pulls back down. Then it starts to go up, volume goes up a little bit. And it's just, the volume hasn't really been that impressive. But it's at that like key level. I mean, it's an approximate level around 2350. Close below it. What was Max Payne for Pfizer this week? Let's see. Max Payne, so from last Friday, it was 23, and then upcoming 24, and then back down to 23. So almost closed a strike above Max Payne, which, like I said, was 23. Closing at 2350 would have been a strike above. So, yeah, it seems to me like this is a little bit weak, but maybe also there is, let's see, I'll probably not draw this that well. I'll just draw it as a rectangle. But like if there's this like range that price has been in, maybe this is like, break below to fake people out and then it reclaims. I have no idea. But yeah, generally looking at this, not seeing anything too clear in the options data, I would say this is, I have less confidence in it. But that could just be me being, overly cautious. And then so the next one is, I actually wanted to look up Moderna because that one actually has some pretty interesting data. And there's some news. Let's see. With them, this is, let's see. Scroll not too aggressively. Gosh. I don't like this. Moderna wins FDA nod for next gen COVID-19 shot. Like, why do we need a next gen? It's because they can make money on it. FDA approves Moderna's next gen COVID vaccine for adults 65 or older. Yeah, and I think that's the real target. If you're making a vaccine, I think that the retirees really got sold on the boosters and all of that. So expects to have, I don't know if you can see, oh, could you see that? Oh yeah, I guess you can see it just above my head. But yeah, it looks like they got some approvals for FDA, but they were down on Friday 1.37%, bouncing in the overnight about 2.4%. But yeah, I've been looking at this downtrend, and I think actually Mr. Chart Norris was looking at a downtrend that I think goes back on the monthly time scale, so going back to 2021. But I just saw the shorter term downtrend acting as resistance. Looks like there's a breakout bull flag. So I think this could be going higher. But at the same time, it's I just don't want to spread myself too thin. The contract that I guess I have been looking at, but not really too closely, is the $55 call that expires in January, my favorite expiration as of right now. Once June 20th passes, I'll probably look for contracts later. I think opening up contracts with a more than 200 day window, approximately, getting into year, it's kind of nice just to have that time buffer. But yeah, if we look at the data over here, I recall that some of this was looking bullish. Let's look over the past 14 days. Puts being sold here, so that's on Friday. And so, I could even just switch this back over to 1 day, red here, puts being sold. That puts came down by almost $3 million, whereas net call premium went up by about $1.5 million. So that generally seems more bullish to me, although it's not clear whether they were made on the ask or the bid side, or whether they were buy or sells based on that. So that's kind of why there's this white area there, the neutral. But if we do go back, let's see, 14 days. Really just this looks pretty good. Moderna. So yeah, I'm intrigued about what's actually the premium for this contract. So it's around $1, so it's like $100 to risk on that. I don't know. I'm kind of tempted by it, but yeah. So that's something. Maybe that relates to Pfizer. Maybe if Moderna goes up, Pfizer goes up as well. Or if Pfizer goes down, Moderna does. So yeah, I think that it's a little bit risky, but yeah, and maybe this was just the move, the breakout, and then maybe it gets it fails, then it breaks back down lower. And let's see, the other one that you're requesting was Coupang. Coupang. Not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. But yeah, let's see. I think I had to have, there's all this crap. I have in the past drawn too many Fibonacci retracements, as you can see. I don't want to delete all of these. Let's see. I guess I kind of do just want to delete all of them. So this looks good. I mean, in the sense that it's up a lot more than when I was tracking it over here, apparently. We do have this uptrending line, which maybe I could adjust based on, you know, like the close over here or something, but I'm not going to. But yeah, so over here we do have, you know, from this high to this high, we have higher highs, also higher highs in the RSI, also between these highs, higher highs. So no bearish divergence. With these lows, we had a lower low, and this was flat, so that was kind of a weak bullish divergence. And then from these, we had a higher low corresponding with a lower low, it looks like, if this was over here, yep, to there. So there's some bullish signs prior to, not that tool, this one, prior to this like 50% move to the upside. And now that it's up here, let's see, what do I think? I mean, for me, it's already moved up 50%. So I would be more concerned about this pulling back, notably. And let's see, maybe we can have some lines. I'm just going to draw the Fibonacci retracement a little bit different than I normally do. I'm just going to line up the bottom like the cursor over to the lows here, just being approximate. And then up to the highs over there, like here. Just because I'm curious to see if any of these levels correspond with the tops here. So the 618, not really, maybe the 50%. Yep, so the 50% does correspond with like this kind of like left shoulder type of look. This is like left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Broke a little bit, but then went higher. And then let's see the 382 corresponding with approximate the tops over here. And then the 236 is the, you know, top over here. So, I mean, I could see this pulling back to 2650, maybe 25, and maybe 24. 24 would actually potentially, I'm just going to make that light blue so it stands out a little bit. But like if it pulled back to the 50%, that could correspond with that uptrend, getting back to it and then going higher. And that would also be a higher low. So yeah, I mean, like just thinking about this from like a psychological perspective too, you know, this has run up a lot. If people are excited about this because it's up a lot, it hit, I don't know if this is all-time highs or like 52-week highs just hit. But, you know, if people are getting really excited about it now, maybe it is a good time for it to pull back, you know, about 15%. And then that will be the time to long it if it's finding some support there, confluence of levels, that 50% retracement and, you know, the uptrend. But maybe I could adjust that trend line a little bit because it's not drawn too perfectly. Just going to do it based on the open from this day over here, which was at 1160. Wait, well, that's incorrect. The open over here was at, oh, no, I meant the close, sorry. 935. So that's good. And then this over here. Make it the open and close on this day. We're probably the same. 2803 was the open. 2812. What? I'm not reading this right at all. 1291, I think I was reading. Yep, I was reading the current. I didn't want to look at it for this date, which was March 15th. The open and close 1291. So yeah, that makes sense. That looks like it. Yep, and that's marked there correctly. And so I might make that line a little bit thicker and make it green to suggest that, you know, hey, like it's acted as some notable support in the past. Did break below it over here, but then bounce from it over here. Notable support again. Notable support again. Notable support nearly, but then broke below it. And yeah, so I mean, I feel like this could be coming down to around 24 bucks. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's yep, I can do, so it's on the hour now, so I'll do bull and then I'm going to close the stream down just because my eyes are getting tired. I'm tired. But yeah, bull, looking over here, Mr. Chart Norris on X goes over it quite frequently, so I'd encourage you check out his page. The thing I don't really like about bull is like the options data doesn't really reflect that it's looking super great, or at least not yet. If we do look at the weekly time frame, and this is kind of how Mr. Chart Norris has posted it, but just like from, we can see the candle there, but the wick goes way higher. But this is basically, just been doing kind of like this long-term cup sort of. And so maybe it could be getting up to like 24, 25, somewhere around there. And so I think that's kind of the thesis, but that would take perhaps a month, to get back up there. So I have a position in this. I'm a little bit red in it. I'm trying not to sweat it. I'm not sweating it, but I just feel like maybe this is like an opportunity cost that I'd rather not be wasting the time on it. Am I going to delete this because they sort of played out? But yeah, I mean, I think that 11.10 might be a nice dip buy level. I did go over it at the beginning of the stream, but that's really just based on this green line. So this is kind of like consolidation lows over here. And that price being at 11.10, as you can see here on the y-axis. And so the low on Friday was 11.54. So if this does dip to 11.10, I'd expect that to be pretty strong support. And then, yeah, I mean, there's this gap up here at 16.41. Doesn't necessarily have to be filled. We also do have this orange line up here at 24.23, which, is the open from over here. I guess it's just kind of an arbitrary level. Yeah, and then this yellow line that I have at 13.40, that was, like the top over here before the big move up. So I thought that acted as support, and I started to, follow it more closely when it pulled down to that level and then bounced. And so I was thinking, oh, well, if it pulls back to there, it's acted as support, I'll establish a position. And of course, how it works, it pulled back and then broke below, then confirmed below. And now I think it's probably going to go to 11.10. So I'd be prepared for that. If you do want to go long, if you're not long already, I feel like 11.10 is an interesting level because it corresponds with those consolidation lows. And then also it's just a little bit above 11. So maybe people are waiting for the whole dollar number, $11.00. And then it gets, cents off from it. And then it rallies. And going from 11.10 up to that gap fill, that's about 47% move. Just going up to that yellow line at 13.40, that's about 20%. And I believe, for me, I want to take profits around like 15 something. That's around 30+% to the upside. But yeah, I mean, it might take a little while. So I feel like this is going to be an opportunity cost lesson for me that, well, if a chart looks interesting, even though this doesn't have that much data with it, it's probably not worth playing unless the options data also suggests otherwise, because this, was a bullish move here, but then it gets rejected. And so if I was going long here, then it's also like, well, then suffering this downside. And, that's just going to be eating away at the value of that premium and stuff. And then, so do I think 12.50 is possible to hit by tomorrow? For Webull, I have no idea. In the overnight, it's trading up 1% around 11.80. So I definitely think that 12.50 is feasible. But I don't know if how likely that is to happen, because the high from Friday was 12.24. So yeah, I mean, and also we see highest volume when it was hitting the high over here. Volume's kind of cooled off a little bit on the pullback. So yeah, I mean, it could just bounce, go like that, or it could, come down and then up. That's kind of what I would think, a pullback to around 11.10 and then up. Oh, and hey, welcome, Career Senpai. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, so I don't always do these ticker request lives. I used to do them every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, but with my work schedule and also just like when I go through a lot of tickers, it's like, I go through the charts individually, but it's like I'm just kind of like in a daze, going through all this stuff. And so I just started doing either pre-market preps, which will be this week because I'm working afternoons, and then next week or the following week, so the week after this upcoming week, just like last week, I was doing overnight preps because I was working during the mornings. But this week, working in the afternoon, so I'll be doing pre-market preps. And so just going over the volatility, S&P 500, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then whatever stands out to me, kind of based on what I'm holding, but not necessarily some of them like Big Bear AI. I have traded, but am not in right now. Moderna, not in, and don't necessarily plan to get in. But yeah, just kind of what stands out to me. Might be just from a post on X. And then if there's time, if there are people tuning in for those streams, then I'll do a video or then I'll do requests. And then on Saturdays, I've been doing Crypto Corner Sat Stacker, which I feel like is probably not that interesting or exciting for people, but it's helpful for me. And so I like doing those. I feel like by the end of the year, it'll be a really nice success story. But, there's also the possibility I end up being wrong and it's kind of a disaster documentary. But yeah, I think with all that being said, I've gone a little bit over an hour. I'm just going to throw this up here. If you have not already, please make sure you like the stream. Make sure you like the videos that you do enjoy. But, as always, those are just my thoughts. And if you do enjoy them, let me know in the comments down below, in the chat during the streams. And make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. But yeah, I will be streaming tomorrow at 8:15 a.m. Eastern for pre-market prep to go over market volatility, S&P 500, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I don't really know what else. Maybe something stands out to me in the pre-market, but maybe not. And I believe I'll be going over NEO maybe Tuesday, maybe tomorrow. Maybe it's a good time to look at NEO, which is one I've covered in the past, but I'll just pull it up here to close on it. Maybe it's something I want to look at tomorrow. It's one that I hold, one that I have some calls in. Yeah, I mean, this is just such a disappointing chart. Just like, it's been fading so much. I wonder though, I mean, this is like this yellow line here. That's like the base. It's kind of like, I don't know if this is trading in a range or what. But then this is like kind of a fake out break to the downside, bounce. This is just me having some hopium. I want this to be going up, but yeah, I'm about to sneeze in a second, so I'm going to close down the stream and maybe I'll see. Excuse me, I was too late to close it. But yeah, maybe I'll see some of you in the morning for pre-market prep. But yeah, hopefully you guys get a good night's sleep for the week ahead, 5 days. And yeah, hopefully it's a good one for you guys, whether in the markets, your jobs, in your lives. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, you guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in.